Okay, so originally I was going to film this as a left-handed tutorial, but my left hand was being really incompetent and could not handle the mission. So you're getting a right-handed tutorial. I hope it still helps you. I'm so sorry. So starting off, I've got a 5.5 millimeter hook and some yarn. Don't remember what the yarn said to use. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. At least not for granny squares. I mostly chose this one because it contrasted with the yarn to make it easier to see. So, starting very beginning, it doesn't matter if you hold your hook like a knife. Some people really like that. Some projects I like to do that because I find it easier on my wrist. And some people like to hold their hooks like a pencil. Mom pencil holds. I mostly knife hold. Okay. So starting off, you need a slip stitch. Many people have many tips and tricks for doing slip stitches. They all confuse the hell out of me, so here's what I do for a slip stitch. Take my yarn. I make a loop. Okay. Got my loop. Take the yarn and fold it over. Just, fold it over the tail that's going across the top. Fold it over. Once it's folded over, you pick up the middle piece, either with your hook or with your fingers, and then you just tighten it onto your hook. You don't want it so tight that it's squeaking all about your hook. You want to still be able to like maneuver it. Anyway, your tail end, hold it into your hand that's holding your hook so it doesn't get in your way. Next part, we're going to start chains. It does not matter if you yarn over towards yourself or away from yourself as long as you are consistent with it, okay? I always go towards myself. That's just how I learned. So yarn over and then pull your back loop over that yarn and hook. That's your first chain right there. One. And you can kind of also hold your chain stitch out of the way and keep it flat by pressing on it with your ring finger. So 1, 2, and see I keep tucking my chain back under my ring finger. 3, and 4. I guess 4 is enough. I don't really know. Granny squares are super forgiving. So here is the front of the chain, the top. Here's the back of the chain. They look fairly similar. Sometimes when you're doing chains, oh, here we go. This is a good way to see it. You can see this one kind of like runs through the center of the chain. See that? How each little one has its own little dash in the center? That's a way to tell it's the back of the chain. And this one doesn't really have that dash going down the center. So, granny squares doesn't really matter if your chain gets twisted though, so it's okay. It's very forgiving. Once you've got your chain, you'll take your hook, stick it, let me see if I can focus. Focus! You'll stick it into your first chain stitch. Doesn't really matter how it goes in, so long as it gets in there. Then you yarn over, and you can pull both of these two pieces over at the same time, but sometimes I find it easier to do one over and then kind of like readjust my yarn, like, make it a little tighter, and then the second one's over. Sorry, I keep going out of frame. Okay, and then you can kind of like wiggle your pinky into there to try to open up that center hole some. Alrighty. So just keep holding the tail out of the way. We don't need it for now. And If we're doing a double crochet granny square, you'll want to start off with 2 chains. So yarn over and go 1, yarn over and go 2. So this will count as your first double crochet stitch. For double crochet, yarn over, stick it through the very center of your chain loop, and see, kind of naturally it yarns over by itself. So yarn over once you've gone through, and then pull your loop through your chain circle. Now you should have 3 on your hook. Yarn over again, go through 2, yarn over, and go through 2, and do that one more time. Yarn over, through your center hole, yarn over, and pull it through your center hole, yarn over, go through, oh my god, it's stuck, 2, yarn over, go through 2. Now you essentially have 3 double crochet stitches, so you're ready for your first corner stitch. You'll do 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and then you just rinse and repeat with the double crochets, except now you don't have to do the chain 2 for crochet since you're already at the appropriate level. You'll just go yarn over into your center hole, yarn over, pull it through. Now you have 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull it through 2, yarn over, pull it through 2. Okay. Don't know why that looks so funky, but hey, is what it is. Yarn over, stick it through your center hole, yarn over, pull it through. Now you have 3, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and third one. Hope you don't mind my skipping the narrative as to what I'm doing. So we're going to do the chain 3. This is your next corner. 1, 2, 3. And we're trying to make a square, so you need 4 of these clusters. So we have 2 of our clusters, and I'm going to do 2 more. And yes, it gets tight. You can do it. 1, 2, 3, double crochet. And if at any point you feel it's easier to let go of the tail, let go of the tail. It's okay. Not the end of the world. Just as long as it's not in your way. Then we'll chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And interesting tidbit, everybody holds their yarn a little bit differently. But for me, I wrap it over my pinky and over my thumb, back towards my pinky, back around my pinky, over my ring finger, and then in some combination of in these fingers just to help. Because then when the ball starts to get tight, I can use my thumb to like flick the string to give me some more slack. Okay, any hoozles. So we have 1, 2, 3 clusters. we will do one more cluster. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And then you still want to do your chain 3 here to make your corner. This is your last corner, so you go 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to slip stitch to your first chain space. Okay, mine looks a little funky, yours may too, that's quite alright. So if you kind of just pull apart, you can see here's one double crochet here, here's the second one, and here's the chain, and you can just stick it right into that hole. It doesn't have to be exact, it is quite okay. Okay, and slip stitch it on. Now what you need to do is slip stitch to your next corner. I guess I didn't explain what a slip stitch was in that last one. I'm so sorry. Let me start that again. So you shove it in there, you yarn over, you pull your yarn through where you shoved in, and then you just pull it, this top loop, over. It's kind of like a chain, but it's on your actual working project versus in the air, if you will. Okay, so now you just slip stitch over, so you'll slip stitch 1, slip stitch 2, your second slip stitch will be into this big old hole here, slip stitch 2, and now you will make sure you have enough yarn to keep working. Chain 2, 1, 2, and because you're starting in the corner space, what you'll do is you'll do a cluster, 3 chain, and a cluster all into this big hole. So this chain 2 counts as our first double crochet. So we'll yarn over, go through the big hole, yarn over, pull that through. You have 3, yarn over, pull that through 2, yarn over, pull that through 2, yarn over, go down into the big hole, yarn over, now you have 3, and yarn over, okay, yarn over. Sorry for the silence, my phone was telling me it's getting hot. It doesn't feel that hot, it'll be fine. Okay, so you have your first cluster, then you will chain 3, 1, 2, 3, okay, and then you'll start your next cluster, yarn over, working into that same big hole, go through, yarn over, 3, so you double crochet, yarn over, okay, looks like I kind of got a little sloppy with some of my tension there, but that's alright, it'll still be fine. Ugh, sorry if my angles keep changing, I'm sitting very uncomfortably on the floor trying to make this work. Okay, now let's see. Do we chain in between these? I don't remember. I'm just going to chain 1 to be safe. Chain 1. Then double crochet into your next corner. You can tell I do these like all the time, right? Because I took like a million takes of this, I swear. Oopsies. Get back on there, you. I wasn't done. 2, 3, Actually, I don't think you do have to chain one there. No, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna take that chain out. Yeah. I suppose I could probably cut this out, but where's the fun in that? Don't we all like the whole live action stuff these days? I feel like I'm gonna knock over my drink. It's like literally right behind my elbow. Okay, so chain 3, because I just did my cluster of 3 in this corner. 1, 2, 3. And we will do another double crochet 3 cluster into that same corner. 1, 2. Oh man, my tension is all over the place. 3. I'm also trying to do this a little bit fast so that I can show you the next round too. Oh my god. So sometimes this happens. I actually split my thread, I think. Oh no, I didn't. Okay. It is possible to accidentally split your thread. No big deal. You can go back. Just take your time when doing it. Okay. Next corner. 3 chain, or 3 double crochet into the corner. Okay. And then 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, oh wait, 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, my tension is all over the place. Okay. So just in case, you need a bit of a slower recap, we got our 3 double crochet cluster. We're moving on to the next corner. That's a yarn over, through the corner, yarn over, pull it through the corner, yarn over, pull that through 2 loops, yarn over, pull that through the final 2 loops, double crochet. And you want a total of 3 of those, so we'll do number 2. And number 3. And then your 3 chain stitches, so yarn over and pull it through your loop. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets. 1, 1, 2, yeah, and 3. Oops. 3. And then you'll just slip stitch to up here. You can either, now that it's a little bit easier to see, you can either slip stitch into this hole right here, or you can slip stitch, if you look up, it makes a little V pattern. Just stick your hook through the top of that little V. It might look a little tidier if you do it this way. First one, I couldn't really tell on mine at least. So you slip stitch through that, you stick it through, yarn over, pull your loop through, and then pull it through again, and Then you slip stitch to your next opening. Why can't I stay in focus? Well, neither here nor there. That's why I used high contrast, right? So once you slip stitch to your next opening, you essentially rinse and repeat. You'll do the 3 double crochet cluster, chain 3 double crochet cluster in this hole, and then we're going to just do 1 double crochet cluster in this hole, and then the corner again. So I'll go ahead and I guess do that. 2 chain stitches, which will count as your first double crochet. So this will be number 2, number 3, then 3 chains, and then 3 more double crochet. Oops. See, I split my yarn, and I also think I was out of frame, so my bad. I think this is number 3. Yeah, that's number 3. Okay, and then we'll do the cluster here. Now, I will say I have no idea if there's a way to do this perfectly in the round where you don't have to slip stitch to the corner, but this is the way I learned it, so this is the way I do it. It gets the job done, essentially. But yeah, anyway, this is how my square looks at this point. We are working on the 3rd round. I'm not going to do any more because this video is already hella long, but you can tell it's the 3rd round by counting your clusters. So you have 1, 2, and 3. Cool beans? Alright. Let me know if you need more help.